Good morning. I have my hair up for work. It's stuck to my face. I think this morning I have to go to work from 8 to 3 today to do a bunch of training and stuff, but I don't know what like the lunch situation is gonna look like. So I think I'm gonna throw together probably a little egg wrap, something a little bit more hearty than the peanut butter. So I'm gonna do like a couple eggs, some vegetables, and then I have a protein wrap. So let's get this stuff started. All right, you're back on my nuts box. You're welcome. I need a pen. I feel like this is good. All right, then I'm gonna do a mixture of eggs and cottage cheese. Should we do 2 eggs? Let's do 2 and see how it looks. One. And 2. Oh crap, I took the trash out. This is gonna go right there for a minute. This doesn't look like enough. I'm gonna do a 3rd egg. I wanna make sure that I'm full most of the afternoon, and that way I can concentrate and I'm not hungry. Alright. Then I'm gonna add in some cottage cheese to this. I think I am gonna do coffee this morning. Alright, I don't know how much cottage cheese, but we're just gonna, that feels right. It never looks good at first. All right. Then I'm also gonna do a piece of turkey bacon for my wrap. All right, I actually decided I'm gonna go with the 0 net carb spinach wrap. I think this will be good. All right. Let's start with our bacon, and I'll be back in a minute. my coffee. All my eggs are finishing. We're gonna add some stuff to the coffee. I don't think I'm gonna do the protein today because I'm eating such a high protein breakfast. We're gonna do the Skinny Girl. And then to put a little bit of color, we're gonna add our nut pod. Also, I lost the lid to it somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. And apparently I really like talking about nuts. Sorry. Alright, let's add a little bit of color. I don't know what I did to the lid of the cup. I found it. I don't know why I was looking for the lid for this too. I just said I didn't have the lid. I'm going to stir it. But it isn't being good. It's good. Okay, let's go finish our breakfast. I gotta put you back on my nut stand. Okay. We're gonna use, I think, one of these wraps. I think that would be good. With one piece of bacon and our eggs. I like my eggs well done. This is a lot of eggs. I think I made too many eggs. I made one too many eggs. It's not going to fit in the wrap, but I'll just eat them on the side. Okay. Eggs are going over there. Okay, this is quickly turning a little chaotic. I think one piece of cheese. I really like cheese. And cheesy eggs are good. I was actually thinking a couple banana peppers. I think that's good. Little sofrito. Just a little. And yeah, I'm going to do just a little bit of extra spinach. Not much, because it's not going to close very well. Okay. But will it even wrap? All credits to Jess. Angry Jess for stealing your tagline. I borrowed it. Dude, she has the best mac and cheese recipe. Okay. I swear my wrapping skills are so much better, but these, like, low carb and protein wraps do not wrap very well. Alright, going back on the heat. wrap is going down. The rest of the eggs are coming off. And I'm going to top them in a little bit of sofrito. Because why not? You want some? Do you? There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh crap. I just realized I brought all my clothes down to put on and I did not bring a brassiere. Brassiere. Bro. So. Tomorrow's my weigh-in. Are you excited? Oh, yeah. So Angry Jess has the best mac and cheese recipe. I followed it. It was the first time I was ever able to make mac and cheese. Usually, my mac and cheese sucks. It separates. I can never do it right. The taste is always there, but it always looks like crap. These are good. Okay. Alright. Let's not judge her. She's very proteiny, but a little bit willing to fall apart. Same. Also, mind your business about my plastic plate. There she is in all her glory. I know. Sometimes they're not very pretty, but sometimes they're worth it. Alright, now I will see you when I'm dressed.
Also, you are so mighty welcome for these pictures that I sent to my group chat that I decided just to keep in because, look, I'm actually getting curves and I'm not just a round ball anymore, so that is absolutely exciting to me.
Alright, I'm taking my meds before I go in because I'm not going to get out till 3 o'clock. And I usually take my meds around 10. It's currently 7:06. Hopefully this goes away soon. I mean, whatever. If they can't take me at my sleep apnea, then I don't want them. I got hair on me. I'm looking at a hot mess. I think is that deodorant? Who knows? Alright. I got some coffee. I got water. My wallet, my phone, my keys. Alright. I probably won't see you again until after the workday. I'm back home. My hair's down. I am going to go take a nap because I've been staring at a screen forever and I don't feel well. I feel tired. I've decided I can't sleep. It's too bright in here. And I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go figure out something to eat for lunch. And if I'm still tired, I might go into Tony's room and sleep because he has blackout curtains. Also, I have a wild amount of laundry that I need to fold that I'm totally not doing today, but do you want to see it? All of that is clean laundry. My hair looks so cute. My goodness, she did such an amazing job. So I don't work tomorrow. I work Friday, and then I'm off for 3 days. I'm so excited about this job, guys, but today, it killed me. I got up at 5 a.m., and then I had to be there at 8. I just randomly woke up at 5 and decided to get up. I actually had my alarm set for 6. And then I got there at 8. Then almost immediately after getting there, they had me do online courses. And from probably like 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. with a small break when I went to go get coffee, I was doing online courses, which means from 8 to 2 almost, I was reading on a computer, really boring material, and taking tests. And it gave me a massive headache. It made me feel really unwell. And plus, this morning, I don't think what I ate was filling enough. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm like really hungry, so I think instead of sleeping, I'm gonna go find something to eat. I set you on my nuts again. Apparently it's my unofficial stance because I can't be bothered. Okay. I'm inventing as I go here. I'm cooking. Literally. I'm going to do something with I almost called it quinoa because I call it that comically. Quinoa. I'm going to do something with quinoa. I have these tuna burgers. I might fry up one. Some broccoli. I'm cooking here. I'm just trying to create new stuff so I don't get bored. Let's see what these tuna burgers look like. I got these from Sam's Club. I don't know why I smelled the plastic, like it was gonna give me indication. Looks like a regular burger patty. Let's get a pan. Let's get a pan. A pan. I'm gonna oil my pan. Let it sit for the proper time limit. And then while that sits, I'm gonna go put this away and this one. I'm gonna put these back in here. Okay. I'll put these two things away. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do quinoa, tuna burger, broccoli. What else do I have? I don't even know if this is gonna be good. Do we think hummus? I feel like I'm making another monstrosity like I did yesterday. And for a little bit of a snack, mostly because this is going to stop me from binge eating. That was a lot. I'm doing a 0-carb tortilla with a little bit of Nutella. This was one of my favorite snacks, was Nutella and a big tortilla. So I think this is going to be good. Very good. Nutella. My quinoa is boiling. So it says to boil for 10 minutes. Okay, I'll be back. So tomorrow's my win. What are we thinking? We thinking I'm losing? You think I'm gaining? Because I have no idea. I have been willing myself not to get on that scale. I'm excited to find out. I accidentally stopped the video. Anyways, I'm thinking cucumber. I do have some carrots and roasted garlic hummus. I don't know if this is going to be good. I'm just wildly putting things together. I need to scent my thing. I'm trying to use up the scents that I got. I got entirely too many. I should probably season this, right? Yep. Oops. Put some pepper. A little bit of salt. I haven't really been doing salt, but I'm gonna do a little bit. Alright. Then I'm thinking the quinoa. I need to calculate all of this. Hold on. Can you see better this way? Alright, I'm going to try to full send it on this and hope that you can see it because I'm not entirely sure. Have it facing away from me. We're going to do our quinoa. We're going to do about half the bag. Ooh, that's hot. I need a spoon. Does that feel like it's half the bag? No idea. Maybe. Alright. Half a bag of quinoa. Then we're going to do some of this tuna patty. Alright. We're going to send it. It's pretty good. Of course, I like tuna. Alright. Let's do some carrot sticks. Trying really hard to incorporate more vegetables into my diet. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of broccoli. That feels good. I'm covered in broccoli. I'm the only one eating this, so I'll eat the stems at a later date. Then I'm thinking some cucumber. I think we should do thin cucumber, right? This is one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. And thinking roasted garlic hummus. I don't know, I feel like that's probably more than 4 tablespoons. Hummus is so good. And then I got this I need to use up. Spinach and arugula. Listen, if this was gonna make us sick, it would have by now. I'm just gonna send it. Eat it like a salad. This is not gonna be aesthetic. For sure. Alright, let's try to make it look a little more pretty. No, there's no helping this. I don't think it's gonna taste bad. I don't think it looks gorgeous. Let's see. What do you think? Do you think it looks pretty? There's a DoorDasher coming to bring Addison food, and Hamilton's not allowed to know about it. Oh, buddy. We are going to tackle this, though. There's nobody at our door. Don't even worry about it. Do you think he knows? Nobody tell him. Nobody tell him somebody's here. Shh. Because he will bark. Okay. I'm going to dump all of this clothes onto this bed. I'm going to give you a story time. Okay. She got her food. I need you to get off. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. And dump. Oh no, stuff's falling already. All right. Don't look at my butt. And jump. Ah. And dump. Somewhere. I might have to make this a long story time. One more. And unfortunately, I have more in the dryer that are drying right now that I just started. And dump. Okay. I think think I'm gonna put my hair up for this. Alright, got laundry here on the ground. This is all dirty. Alright. Close the door. I don't want to do this. So much laundry. Do you love me? You ever drink Bailey's out of a shoe? You want to see Laundry Mountain? Hold on. Ta-da! I know. You have no idea that I just went away for a second. I was trying to figure out how to take a thumbnail with all this laundry. It's probably the most exciting thing I'm doing today. Alright, so last story time, I told you that I lived in a trailer park for a while because my mom took me away from my dad and took us to a trailer park. I have nothing against trailer parks. I actually think they are wonderful. However, this trailer park was a dump. Now, in this trailer park, I met this girl. Let's call her Elle. Now, Elle and I became very close. And then, after I met Elle, she introduced me to a girl named Cece. That's what we're going to call her. Elle and Cece. We were inseparable in this trailer park. We ran all over the place. Now, it is worth mentioning that Elle had older siblings and one younger sibling. She had 2 older brothers and 1 younger brother. Okay? Her older brothers were A and another C. And she had a little brother that started with an N. Trying to figure out how to describe this. Anyways. So, C and A, the 2 older kids, were bad boys. They partook in things, extracurriculars that were not quite healthy for teenage boys to be partaking in. Elle was like 4 and 6 years younger than A and C. But Cece and I, Elle's friends, had big crushes as teenagers on Elle's older brothers. Okay. After I left the trailer park, I never really hung out with her brothers a whole lot. I mostly hung out with Elle because her brothers were older and always out doing stuff. Hold on one second, my daughter. So fast forward, I am now 18 years old. So at this point, I have been living on my own for a while because I moved out of my dad's house, which is another story. He was dating this woman when I was 17 who was a monster. And she's a whole nother story that I can get into. But when I was 17, I got an apartment to myself. Well, not to myself. Me and my friends got an apartment together. Backtrack. I'm giving you the wrong information. When I was 17, I was dating this boy who was also a bad boy who had nothing to do with the trailer park. He was just a kid I was dating at that time who, embarrassingly, was very into ICP and hung out with that sort of crowd. I did not. For some reason, if they were a weirdo or a loser, they were my kind of person. And so this kid I dated when I was 17, I decided it would be a great idea to move in with him for a couple months. It didn't last very long because of his extracurricular activities. They started becoming more important than me, and he was going out and partying with his friends and stuff like that. So I ended up moving out with some friends, and then when I turned 18, I was pretty much on my own anyways. So I went to a concert, and I met at the concert Cece. She and I had lost slight contact, but I saw Cece and C and A. All three of them were together. Okay, it's important for this story. Cece and C were married. They had gotten married and had a baby. A and I exchanged information after that day. I know you know where this is heading. I dated him for a little while. I was like probably 18 and a half, because we dated for a very short amount of time before we got married. I did not tell anybody that I was getting married. I didn't tell my dad, who is the person that I love most in this world. I didn't tell my sister. I didn't tell any of my friends. A and I just decided to go get married. Now, it is important to note here also that when I first started dating A, when I saw him at this concert, he was freshly out of jail. Why, you may ask? For breaking and entering and fighting a police officer. And I know you're thinking, Amber, you didn't. I did. I absolutely thought I can change him. Because every young girl does, right? I was in love. I knew I can change him. He was okay for a while. When he first got out of jail, he worked out a lot. He was charming. He was funny. He was all the best parts. All the best parts. And I fell for him deeply. So when he asked me to marry him, I said yes. I was still 18 when he asked me to marry him. I didn't turn 19 till a couple months later. And then we went to the courthouse and got married at the courthouse. The only person that knew was his mother, who came as our witness. Nobody knew. I want to slap myself too, just so you know. So, here I am, freshly 19 years old, and weirdly, I have been engaged twice at this point, once married, because I said in a story before that when I was 15, I got engaged to a 20-year-old. I don't know, what is wrong with me, right? So, freshly 19 and married. We're living with his parents because I'm the only one working. I'm the only one supporting us. And so now I start thinking, okay, future, what is our future going to look like? What am I going to do with my life? It's also important to note that I was on probation until I was 19 for shoplifting. I can also tell you that story at a different time. But just know, I didn't actually shoplift. I was with somebody who was shoplifting. And because we were together, we got in trouble. Anyways, I was on probation for shoplifting. So my plan was always to join the military. But because I was freshly 18 when I got in trouble, obviously I could not join the military. So I did my community service. I paid my fines. I did my year probation. My probation got up. I know. He's freshly out of prison. I didn't go to jail, but I for sure got arrested. Yep. Couple made to last the end of days, right? You want to know where this is going now? I decided after my probation is up, I'm still joining the military, and he is going to be a stay-at-home husband. So, I literally, the day after my probation was up, walked into the recruiting area. The only door that was open was Navy. So I walked my little butt in there, said, I want to join the military. And guess what? They jumped on it. I joined the military. I signed my little life away. I got shipped to boot camp. And because I was married, after boot camp, I got to have A come live with me. So, I am graduating boot camp. I call A. I say, hey A, I'm graduating boot camp on this date. I'm going to book a hotel room for you and your mother to come up here to stay with us. I booked 2 different hotel rooms for them to stay in. And paid for everything. I paid for the trip down. I paid for the food. I paid for everything. For his mother and him to drive from Ohio to Great Lakes, Illinois, and stay in a hotel for like 4 days. Because I had 4 days of leave after I graduated boot camp before I had to report. I was staying in Great Lakes, Illinois to go to school. To go to A school. So I had 4 days of just whatever I wanted to do outside of boot camp before I had to report to my A school. I may or may not have become pregnant the day I graduated boot camp. I was married. I became pregnant. But I didn't know that. They go back to Ohio. I go to my school. It's now winter. Freshly winter. And I'm not feeling well. I went to the mall with my friends who I made in boot camp that week. The day before, I ate some Chinese food. I thought that I had food poisoning. Then other things started not adding up. And so I walked my butt to the store when I was off work. Took a test. It was negative. Hold on. I need to put this dress in my closet. This test was negative. Another week goes by. I'm still not feeling good. So I thought, okay, I'm not pregnant. I don't know if this is food poisoning. This is lasting way too long. something is wrong with me, so I go to medical to go get checked out. And I'm sitting there and I'm waiting in the waiting room, and she comes in and she goes, "Well, you're pregnant." And I go, "Oh, no, I'm not. Can't be. Sorry." Sure enough, I was pregnant. So, leave that doctor's office. I am crying my eyes out. I just started my military career. I am freshly married. And now I'm pregnant. So, I leave there. I call A. "Hey, I'm pregnant." He is actually excited that I am pregnant, but worried. Obviously, I just joined the military. What does that look like? What is our life going to look like? I'm still living in a dormitory in Great Lakes, Illinois, with no housing or anything, freshly pregnant. So, I finally just go back to my barracks. I tell my roommates about it. I had 2 girl roommates at the time, and they helped me switch because I was on a top bunk. And so when I found out I was pregnant, the one girl switched me so I can get a bottom bunk. A very sweet girl. I obviously have to now report to my command that I'm pregnant. They're not very happy about it, but what can we do? I'm not happy about it either. At the time. Because I know my daughter's going to watch this and be like, "Hey, at the time, it was a very confusing time." Report to my command, "Hey, I'm pregnant." So they take all of the necessary precautions, stuff like that. At one point, it's still like middle of winter, I had like a big fall. I was walking to the chow hall because you have to walk everywhere. I was walking to the chow hall to go get dinner, and I had a big fall on the ice. I was so worried. I went and got checked out. Everything was fine. Mind you, I still haven't had an actual pregnancy checkup. In like several months goes by. I finished school. Still haven't been to like an actual pregnancy checkup like you would normally do. And they tell me they're going to be cutting me orders. I can stay in Great Lakes, Illinois. I can go to Virginia, or I can move to San Diego. I chose San Diego. Why wouldn't you choose San Diego? I wanted out of the cold. I wanted to travel. So, the Navy pays for me and A to move to San Diego. I finish my school and I go back to Ohio. Have like a week and a half before I need to be in San Diego. So I had already started kind of the process before getting where I needed to be. And the military movers come, they get our stuff. All of our family gave us like furniture and things to start this life. And we have everything that we need. The military movers come, they pack up all of our stuff, and then we're staying with his parents until we have to fly out to San Diego. So the day before we are supposed to fly out to San Diego, he disappears. I can't get a hold of him. He's not answering his phone. I don't know where he is. He does not come home. This is the night before we're supposed to fly out. I am pregnant. I am panicking. I look at my bank account. There's nothing. Our bank account is drained. Absolutely $0 in this bank account. He wiped the bank account. And so I start preparing to move by myself. Then, hours before we're supposed to leave for San Diego, he shows up. And he apologizes. He tells me what happened. He panicked. He got worried. He went on a rampage with substances that he had previous problems with before. So up until the day before we were supposed to leave for San Diego, he had been clean. And I had never dealt with somebody like that before. And so he apologizes, and he is very charming. I end up telling him that I love him and that I forgive him, and that when we get to San Diego, we'll figure everything out. We had to end up borrowing money from people because we had a flight, no money whatsoever, and we are moving to San Diego. We don't even have a house in San Diego yet. Like, when we get to San Diego, we have to book a hotel room to stay in until we can get our house set up. We have nowhere to go. So we finally fly to San Diego, and we have to stay in a hotel for like a week until we finally get housing set up and everything gets moved into housing. And all of our stuff gets brought, and I start work, and everything is perfect. He is the perfect husband. He cooks dinner for me. He tells me how much he loves me. He just love bombs me, because that has to be the word for what it was. I don't know whose hoodie this is. I think this is Addison's. He absolutely love bombs me. I go to work. I'm happy. I'm like, man, it was crappy what happened, but look at us. We're doing amazing. We meet some amazing neighbors, and we become really good friends with them. They live right next door to us. We live in military housing. Everything is great. So, fast forward to, I wake up one morning and I feel like I'm in labor. But the day before that, our car broke down. So our beautiful neighbors took us to the hospital. And I go in the hospital, and they tell me that I'm not ready yet. That the baby isn't coming yet. I am dilated, but I still have a long ways to go. So, obviously we're on the Navy base at the Navy hospital. And so they tell me, go walk around for a little bit and then come back and we'll check you. So I do that. I walk around. I'm having a lot of contractions. I am sure that this baby is coming soon. But again, they reassure me. Hold on. Again, they reassure me, you're not far enough along. This baby is not coming today. All right. So they gave me Benadryl to take. I go home and sleep. So I do that. We make the 30-minute drive home, by the way, so that I can go home and sleep. I have this Benadryl in my system. I'm finally ready to try and get some sleep. So I go and I lay down, and I'm still so uncomfortable. So I get up because I feel like I need to pee, and I walk to the bathroom to go use the bathroom. And the second I sit on the toilet, my water breaks. It is go time for real this time. So I tell him, he starts panicking again. 1 second. So he panics. He runs back over to the neighbor's house. Hey, her water just broke. We need to ride to the hospital. These saints gave us their extra car to use. so that they didn't have to take us back and forth from the hospital, and so that we would have a way to bring her home and get me to the hospital to have her. So we make the 30-minute drive back to the hospital that we literally just came from. Because when I tell you, we got home, I walked in the door, tried to lay down, immediately felt like I needed to pee, got up, water broke, back in the car. So now I'm sitting on a towel in their car that has leather seats. And by the time he makes this 30-minute drive to the hospital, I am screaming in pain. And I'm yelling, this baby is coming right now. And somehow I still manage to waddle my way back into the hospital. And I'm yelling because he ended up putting me in a wheelchair. And I'm like, this baby's coming now. This baby's coming now. Like, I can feel it. And the same nurse who had just checked me was there. And she goes, no, sweetie, like, you probably just feel like that. You have a lot of time. You're okay. So they get me in the room. They go and they check. And she goes, oh, no, her head is there. Yeah. I think I would have probably had her in the car had we not immediately turned around and made it right back there. She was coming out. And completely unmedicated. I didn't have time. She came out. Most beautiful baby girl. If I can find a picture of her to put in, I'm sure I have one somewhere. You can see a picture of her when she was first born. She was gorgeous. Also to note, there was an earthquake the day she was born. I probably should have known then that she was going to shake the world. Sure shook mine. So, I forgot another part of this story. Let me talk about the birth, and then I'm going to backtrack just slightly. So, we get her home. Everything is perfect. Things don't really go bad again. Like, we had our problems until I went on to my deployment, but I'll get there. That might have to be another day. Before I get there, though, I will say that there's a part of the story that I forgot until just now. So, when I was about 6 months pregnant with her, A tells me that his friend M is going to come and visit for a while. He's coming to visit San Diego. I told him he can have the baby's room for a while until he gets on his feet. I'm 6 months pregnant. Fine, no problem. I don't know this guy. I don't know anything about him. So, this guy does not leave our house. I am like heavily 9 months pregnant, and him and A are just smoking it up every day and just living life. And finally, I go to A and I go, he has to go. Like, we're going to have this baby any day now. At this point, I'm nesting. I want to get the nursery ready. I can't even get in there because this guy's stuff is all in there. And he goes, well, he doesn't know where to go. And I was like, that's not my problem. He needs to figure out where to go. So we ended up buying him a bus ticket to go back to where we were from, because that's where he was coming from. I don't know what his agenda was or what he was trying to do, but it did not work. But yeah, so M gave A connections in San Diego that A did not previously have because A didn't know anybody. So while I was working, he was taking our daughter out to buy things. After after M left and after our daughter was born, I found out that he was still partaking. But still, I loved him, right? As the father of my child, the love of my life, I still loved him. When our daughter was a year old, I had to go offshore duty and onto a ship. And so I was trying to manage ship life, and on the ship I was working ridiculously long hours. Sometimes I would have to sleep on the ship. Sometimes I would get home. I was working in deck department at the time, and I would just be covered in filth. Just covered. I was disgusting. And I would get home, and all I would want is just a couple seconds to take a shower by myself and breathe for just a second. And the second I would walk in the door, he would hand her to me and leave the house. Just leave. Leave the house for the whole night and then come back at night. And then that cycle would happen almost every day. We would constantly get in arguments over it because I was exhausted. He became very possessive. Very possessive. Like, if I wanted to go somewhere, I had to take her with me, even if I had off hours. Like, one time I wanted to go bowling with some friends from work just to get out of the house for a while. And he told me that I had to take her with me so that I didn't cheat on him. And he would tell me things after a while, like, nobody would ever love me. Like he does. Like, he had me convinced that he was my only chance at love ever again, somehow. Like, I was fully convinced of that. After I had my daughter, she tore me. She tore me pretty good. She came out face up and tore me up. So I was on pain medication at the time, and my friend came up from Ohio to visit for a little while. And she and this was like, I didn't take all of the pain medication. But when she came up to visit, I wasn't on pain medication anymore. I still had it in the house. It was just kind of sitting around. I didn't think about it. Anyways, my friend came up from Ohio to visit me, and we went to the zoo. We had a day with my oldest daughter, and then she went to where she was going. She left for the day. I took our daughter and went home, and I came in the door, and I don't see A anywhere. I don't know where he is. I go, great, he left again. But our car, no, I had our car. That's right. But I don't see him anywhere. And then I walk in our bedroom, and off of our bedroom was a bathroom, and he was laying in the bathtub, passed out. Luckily, his head wasn't under, if you want to say luckily, but his head was not under. But he was still breathing, but knocked out. And next to the counter was my bottle of Vicodin and a bottle of wine. He took the rest of the bottle and chugged an entire bottle of wine. And I just let him sit there. I let him lay there in that tub, because at this point, the verbal abuse was something I have never witnessed before. The way that he would talk to me, he would go through my social media, and he would delete every guy off of my social media. Every single one. It didn't matter if they were a cousin, if they were somebody who I had been friends with in high school. Didn't matter who it was. He deleted every single one and was constantly accusing me of cheating on him. So it came time when our oldest was about 2, where my ship was going on deployment and we had to figure out what that was going to look like. Was he going to stay in San Diego, be a single dad with our daughter, with pretty much no help? Like, we had some friends, but nobody that was going to really be there for him. Or was he going to move back to Ohio with his family and my family so that he had support with our daughter? Because I was going away for 9 months, mind you. So we decided that he was just going to move back to Ohio. We were going to give up our apartment. He was going to move back to Ohio. It would be cheaper. We were going to be making more money. And the plan was, because he was going to be able to live with his mom rent-free, that the money that we were making from San Diego and the hazard pay and the BAH and everything that we were making should be enough for us to save up by the time I get back from deployment to put down on a house. So I stupidly went and bought him a brand new car. Now, this was I bought him a 2007, and it was like 2009 or something. So it was just, the car was a couple years old, but it fairly new for what it was. So that he had a reliable car to drive back to, because he didn't want to fly because he had stuff that he had to take. So I bought him a reliable car to have, so that he had good transportation back in Ohio, that he had basically a new car, and that he could do this road trip with our daughter and be able to move some of his stuff back. Okay, so he did that. We gave up the apartment. I left for deployment. He moved back home with our daughter. Also, I gave him power of attorney over everything. Everything. Nobody told me that was a bad idea. What could go wrong? I think that's where I'm going to stop our story. There's a lot more I could go on about this. Sorry, I'm thinking. There's a lot more I can go on about this, but I think that's where I'm going to stop it. This video is already getting long. I've been talking for a while. I will make a part 2 because I think I have to, or otherwise this video is going to be entirely too long. I didn't realize how much talking I could do about this subject. If you want to know why I'm a little crazy, some of this might be why. Anyways, thank you for joining me today. I am actually going to immediately start a part 2 that I'm just going to post in the video after for the next day. Anyways, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my story. I have so many stories about my life and how crazy it is. It's crazy that it's not crazy now. My life is pretty good right now. Knock on wood. Anyways, join me tomorrow and you'll have more to this story. Actually laying here reviewing this, and I realized I never told you about her little brother N, or what happened to CC and C. You ready for this? I don't know if you are. Because it's crazy. Okay. CC and C, Leah's oldest brother C, and our friend CC ended up married and had 3 kids. Okay. I'm not going to get into their story because that's their story to tell. They ended up staying together. They ended up splitting ways eventually. They have their own drama and story that is not my business. But they ended up having 3 kids. N, her little brother N, and my little sister T had a baby. Then had another baby. They had 2 kids. So my little sister and my husband's little brother got pregnant with a baby while I was in boot camp. I bet you didn't see that coming. So she actually ended up having her son 2 months before I had my daughter. So we were pregnant at the same time by brothers. She was with the little brother. I don't know what's on my hand. I was with the older brother. So me and A had a baby. Yeah. I accidentally said L's name. So Amber, take that out. L's little brother N and my little sister T got together when I was in boot camp. And they got pregnant with my nephew. And my nephew and my daughter ended up being 2 months apart. Everybody thought that they were twins. What is on my hand? It's not what you think it is. So, there's that. Oh, also, my little sister did not end up staying with him either. He ended up turning into a weirdo like his brothers. But that's also their story to tell. That's your final update on this story for now.